Hello, Pulp Hounds. So it's been a busy day at work. I'm back home. I've had my tea. I've had a brew. Um, and this video is one of my 5-book mystery hardback vintage horror hauls. But I thought we'd also have a little look at what I've been picking up recently. And I'll just do you a quick reminder that I have been doing this channel in earnest for about a year now, and I'm doing a little Q&A. So if you've got a question that you want to put to me, put it in the comments. Not like ones about science or polar expeditions. It's not general knowledge. It's just things you might want to know about me. And my mum always said, never discuss politics or religion in polite society, and you lot are obviously very polite, so I probably won't cover politics or religion. But my mum never said, don't discuss the onstage antics of Gigi Allen or the films of Umberto Lenzi in polite society. So I still got myself into trouble. So let's have a little look at what I've been spending my ill-gotten gains on this week. There's lots of new English libraries in there. Starting off with A Place in Hell, the inside story of Hell's Angels, the world's wildest outsiders. I thought that said outriders, because I'm reading it mirrored. Yeah, in my camera. And just another lovely Nell. Fun Hell's Angel book. I do love them so much. And then on to some horror. It's a bit spine-rolly, this one, unfortunately. You're Next by Nick Sharman. I want to do a video about Nick Sharman. So, Nick Sharman, You're Next. Is not, actually. There's going to be a couple of others, because I've still got some of his books to pick up and read. And it's a bit of a chonker, but it was insanely cheap. So, it's just a reading copy. What else we got? Oh, brilliant. Yeah, this has been on my wants list for a little while, and they kind of hover around an expensive price. Anyway, one came up really cheap, and it's Dream Demon by Ann Bilser, the novelisation of the movie with Tim Spall and Jimmy Nail in. If you haven't seen Dream Demon, I was going to say watch it because it's cool. I haven't seen it, actually, for years. I need to watch Dream Demon again. I don't even think I've got it on DVD. I need to have a look online, see if I can find it somewhere. I remember it being very odd and quite good if you watched it on your own, but kind of a bit almost laughably odd if you watched it with some pals. But I've wanted the novelisation for ages, so I'm really happy with that. Really nice Futura. Another one that's, price-wise, sometimes it's like, whoa, how much do you want for that? But this was just like, I think £2 plus P&P. It's Red Dreams by Dennis Etchison. It's an anthology of 13 short stories, 13 Nightmares of Evil Genius. It reminds me of, this is a long time ago that this actually happened, but it kind of reminds me of a skateboard company logo back in the mid-80s when I used to read Thrasher and ride a skateboard. I haven't been on a skateboard for an awfully long time. But yeah, this is getting price weird. Very price weird at the minute. So some of the ones are on for like £50, so I thought, well, it's maybe time I grabbed it before it goes too silly. And lastly, I paid 71 pence for this, and long-time viewers of my channel will know how perfect this book is for me. Now, it wasn't even on my radar. I was just having a little hunt round, and it popped up, and I know the editor, not personally, but the editor's somebody that I do like their books, and it's The Necromancers, edited by Peter Haining. And it's a really weird mix of, it was 35 pence. And I can get half back from the Popular Book Centre, 1 Selkirk Road, Tooting Broadway, SW17. I'll bob back and see if it's still there. It's like a really weird selection of stuff about witchcraft and black magic, but actual factual stuff. So there's essays by Rollo Ahmed, Crowley, even like Cotton Mather, Trials of the New England Witches. And then there's like a spell on witchcraft by P.T. Barnum. And then there's fiction by like Blackwood, Robert Bloch, August Derleth, E.F. Benson. It just looks like a really interesting book. So it's like short stories about witchcraft and black magic and essays about witchcraft and black magic in a lovely 70s paperback with a gorgeous cover. Oh, for 71p plus postage. It was just in a book dealer's inventory. I was having a little flick through and I'm like, I should know that. It's Peter Haining. It's called The Necromancers. I'll have that and see what it's like. And I am chuffed to bits with it. I really am. So, I'm going to turn the camera around. Actually, I have to say that this hardback horror haul, if you've not seen one of my hardback horror haul videos before, I searched through book dealers' inventories. So, any hardbacks published before 1980, I have a set amount of keywords like ghost, haunted, supernatural, macabre, horror, and just see what comes up. And I just get cheap old hardbacks and see if they're any good. But this time it is a bit of a fail because books popped up that have been on my wants list. There's 2 that I haven't ever been able to find copies of. So there's still super cheap horror hardbacks, but 2 of them, they were just like, oh, I want that. And the other 3 are ones that I did want for my collection. So they're not a crazy mystery, but some of them I don't know what they look like, but I kind of know what the content is, or I've got some others in the series. I'll flip the camera around and we'll start cracking these open. Let's start then. See what we've got. Oh, this comes open easy. I can't remember who all these are from, but there is a nice... Oh. So, this is one that I've wanted for a long time. The Ghosts of Borley by Paul Tabori and Peter Underwood. That cover's just genius. Now, there's something about Borley Rectory, and I don't understand why it frightens me quite as much as it does. I think it was always in ghost books when I was a kid, and it's quite mysterious with it having burned down and it's all kind of gone and that's it. I think there's something about it that's very finite and we will never understand. Like, we can never look into what happened. So this has been on my radar for a little while, The Ghosts of Borley. I've really wanted it. I didn't know what the cover looked like. I just knew there was a book specifically about Borley Rectory. And it's just gorgeous. I love that like green font. It's like a total ghost font, that. A little bit to sort there, but I can do a little repair on that. I am so thrilled with that. That just looks as spooky as it should do. And I'm going to start reading that tonight. Next up, not sure who this one's from. So these were all just like a couple of quid each. Even the ones that I were like, I really want that and I've wanted that for years, and how is it now? Just appeared at a couple of quid when it's always been either really hard to find or really expensive. What we got? Oh, is that wine voucher? Yes. Goldstone Books customers, £75 to spend on a case of delicious wine. Is there any other kind of wine? So yeah, I've started collecting these ghost books in hardback, the Barry and Jenkins ones. I know I could get the paperbacks as the Pan Ghost book, but I just adore the art on these the covers on these hardback ones, and they look so nice on the shelf. And I know full well I'm going to kind of, at some point soon, I'm going to run out of cheap ones to get, and I'm going to have to spend a little bit more on the expensive ones. Let's see what's in this. Ooh, Peter Tinniswood. Let's move it a bit closer so you guys can see. Eva Hannigan. HRF Keating. There's some good ones in there, and some that I don't know. The thing I love about these books is that they're not necessarily, really kind of over anthologized stories. So yeah, oops, that's come off. But that's a nice one. I'm very excited to get that, and I love that series. What we got next? This is from, I don't know, but it's the only one, props to him, it's the only one that's put, like, my book in a jiffy bag. All the others have been these flipping horrible things, like a bin bag offering no protection. You might not want any money for these books, but I treasure them. I want them to arrive in decent condition, thank you very flipping much. Oh, I am grumpy. It's probably because I've been at work today. I'm tired. Oh, what's this one? Let's... Oh, okay. Not in the best nick, but it was very cheap for what it is. This is another one that obviously I knew about them all. But the Faber horror anthologies, I think they're just so lovely. I've got Best Horror number 3. Number 1 is always expensive. And I've got Best Black Magic Stories, which is also brilliant. So let's have a look what's in this one. Do we get an introduction before the contents? We do. That's very odd. So, Ambrose Bierce, Lovecraft, Spike Milligan. Well, that one's going to get read first. MRJ. Not super inspired with this one, actually, but there's enough that I don't know to make it worth my while. And since it was like literally, I think, £2, I'm not going to complain. Because there's enough in there I haven't read to make it interesting for me. But they're just so stylish. I just think they're fab. I think there was only 3 volumes of the horror ones. So, what we got next? This is from Better World Books. Another one in a bin bag. Let's try and get this literally in a bin bag. Honestly, guys, a little bit of bubble wrap or a little bit of cardboard just to protect it won't go amiss. Ah! So, the 9th ghost book. Ex-library. But, one thing I always... Okay. It's maybe not in as good a condition as I was led to believe. But once again, it was very cheap. Everything else... Oh, no, it's not. It's proper falling apart. Let's have a little look here. Oh, Kit Pedler. Brilliant. Kay Batchelor. Rosemary Timperley. So, this is kind of, again, lots of lovely stuff that I'm not necessarily familiar with. It is falling apart a little bit, but... For the price I paid for it, I'm not super upset. And with these, with ex-library books, and they've got this this kind of plastic dust jacket stuff, it does seem to protect the dust cover a little bit. When you get this off, they're always really nice and bright. So yeah, the 9th ghost book. I'm getting a lovely little selection of the whatever ghost book. So this one will be... from World of Books. This one will be one that I am so genuinely excited about, that I've wanted for quite a few years. And it's not that I can't afford it, I've just never found one. Oh. Oh. I am a huge fan of Karloff. And this, I do like Peter Underwood. I've got a lot of his ghost books. In fact, I've got both those Gazetteer of British Ghosts and Into the Occult. That's what I base me Into the Occult series on. Look at him. Look at him. Oh. So, yeah. Let's have a look and see if there's any more pictures inside. It's meant to be a really, really good biography of Karloff. And for some reason, it's just constantly eluded me. I had seen the cover online. So, and I think that's super stylish. So I knew it looked lovely. And yeah, I think this was about £2.50. So I had to have it for that. It didn't say it was in the, it said it wasn't in the best condition. And obviously there's a little bit of tearing and stuff. But once it's on my bookshelf, it's going to be looked after and loved. A little bit faded on the back. Oh, there's some cool. I do like those, that anthology series by Peter Haining, Evil People, Midnight People and Unspeakable People. And if you can grab those, there's some awesome stories in them. But that's very lovely, and I am absolutely thrilled to finally have a copy of that. Well, I'm not disappointed with those. I knew what they all were, but when I do my mystery horror book buy-in, if there's something that I really want, for example, that is in there and really cheap, then I tend to grab. I had to get those. They're all ones I've been after, and that Borley Rectory one, I just love that. Where is it? Let's have a look. I love the design and the style, and it's just beautiful. And yeah, I don't know what it is. There's something that frightens me about those two words put together, Borley and Rectory, and it's like instant chills. It's got to be something from my childhood. It's got to be reading about it in ghost books in the school library, and just even though I was in the middle of school surrounded by people, it was still lonely and frightening. Right, well, I'm going to go and see how I claim my £75 worth of delicious wine. And I will see you lovely pulp hounds in the next video.